Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a really classic narrative. It offers incredible insights into resilience, trust, steadfast integrity.
Yeah, it's a powerful one.
We're talking about the compelling journey of Joseph, specifically looking at his time in Potiphar's house and, well, what happens next, his imprisonment.
A real roller coaster.
Our source material comes from these excerpts detailing Joseph in Potiphar's house in prison. And our mission today is, to unpack the fascinating details. We want to unearth insights into how Joseph navigated betrayal, false accusation, imprisonment, all while somehow keeping his character intact and seeming to thrive.
It's quite something.
Okay, let's dig in.
Right.
So we start with Joseph landing in Egypt, you might remember, sold by his brothers, and he ends up being bought by Potiphar, high-ranking guy, officer of Pharaoh.
Captain of the guard, yeah, an Egyptian, and Joseph was brought to him by the Ishmaelites who carried him down there.
And what's immediately striking, isn't it, is the impact Joseph has almost right away.
It really is. The ancient text puts it beautifully, something like, the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man. And Potiphar, he wasn't blind. He saw this prosperity in action.
He recognized it.
Exactly. He saw Joseph's capabilities, and it wasn't long, really, before he makes him overseer over his house. He entrusts him with literally all that he had.
And it's not just Joseph prospering, which is amazing enough for, a slave.
Right.
But what really gets me is how that blessing spreads. The narrative says explicitly, the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake.
For Joseph's sake.
This wasn't vague. It touched all that he had in the house and in the field. His presence just catalyzed prosperity for the whole household.
That's the really fascinating part, isn't it? It speaks volumes about the level of trust and Joseph's competence, obviously.
Unbelievable competence.
Potiphar he completely lets go of the reins. The text even notes, he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat.
Imagine that. Handing everything over, not even checking the details, just implicit trust.
Total trust. And we also get that little detail, that Joseph was a goodly person and well-favored. Maybe his appearance helped him gain that initial favor too.
Could be. But this period, this high point of trust and prosperity, it doesn't last, does it?
Yeah.
It leads straight into a massive challenge.
Right.
Tests his character right to the core.
Potiphar's wife. She sees Joseph, and the text says she cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, "Lie with me." Very direct.
No ambiguity there. And his response is crucial. How does he handle it?
It's a masterclass in principle, really. His refusal isn't just like polite avoidance, it's deeply rooted. He spells out his reasons very clearly.
Right.
First, he points to the massive trust his master has in him. He says something like, look, my master doesn't worry about anything in the house with me here. He's committed everything to my hand.
Yeah.
There's no one greater in this house than me. He hasn't kept anything back from me except you, because you're his wife. So first, loyalty, betrayal of trust.
But it goes deeper, right? And this is what really defines him, I think.
Absolutely. He then says, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?
Against God, not just against Potiphar.
Precisely. It's not just about breaking house rules or social codes. He frames it as a fundamental moral wrong, a sin against God, that tells you everything about his moral compass.
It really does. And she didn't just ask once, did she?
No. The text emphasizes her persistence. It says she spake to Joseph day by day, but he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her or to be with her. This was ongoing pressure.
Incredible integrity under constant pressure.
Unyielding. Yeah. It points to that really strong internal compass. Consistent.
So the situation escalates. It comes to a head when he's kind of trapped. He went into the house to do his business, his work, basically. And there was none of the men of the house there within. He's alone with her.
Right. A vulnerable moment. And she seizes it. She caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. Same demand.
And his reaction?
Pure flight. He just bolts, leaves his garment in her hand, and fled and got him out. He escapes, maintains his integrity.
But leaves the evidence.
Exactly. He inadvertently provides the physical proof she needs for her story.
So what happens to Joseph now? She turns it around instantly.
Oh, immediately. She calls the household staff, the men, and cries out. She claims Joseph, this Hebrew servant, notice the term she uses.
Yeah, emphasizing he's an outsider.
Right. She claims he was brought in to mock us, saying he came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. Then points to the garment as proof he ran when she cried out. She spins this whole narrative.
Wow. And she waits for Potiphar.
She does, holds on to that garment until his lord came home. Then she feeds Potiphar her version. The Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me.
Mock her. That's the angle she takes.
And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. Same story, painting herself as the victim.
And Potiphar, his reaction.
Swift, furious. The text says his wrath was kindled.
Now, hang on. Given the huge trust Potiphar had in Joseph, entrusting him with everything, doesn't it seem a bit quick that he wouldn't question her story more? Maybe talk to Joseph.
That's a really insightful question. It does seem quick, doesn't it? It could be, societal dynamics back then. A wife's accusation against a servant, especially a foreign one, might carry immense weight. Hard to challenge publicly.
Maybe saving face.
Could be. Maybe upholding the household's honor required a public display of anger, whatever private doubts he might have had. We don't know if he had doubts, but the result is the same.
Tragically, yeah. Joseph is taken straight away and put into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound.
Innocent, betrayed, imprisoned unjustly, a really low point.
But then the story takes another turn, doesn't it? This resilience theme just keeps coming back.
It's astonishing, really. Even in prison, the absolute pits, the narrative highlights that the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
It's almost the same pattern as Potiphar's house.
Exactly. A remarkable parallel. He's gone from running an estate to, effectively running the prison from the inside.
The keeper trusts him that much.
Immensely.
Yeah.
He committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. Joseph was basically the chief operations officer of the prison.
While being a prisoner himself, it shows that leadership, that order he brings, it's just part of who he is, regardless of the situation.
Absolutely. And the reason for the trust. Again, the text is explicit. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper.
So is that divine favor, but also Joseph's own actions, right? His qualities shine through.
Exactly. It's not just passive blessing. It's his diligence, his trustworthiness, his skills, maybe even just his attitude in such awful circumstances. These things made him stand out, gain favor. It shows his consistent impact no matter how grim things look.
So looking back at this whole arc, Potiphar's house, the temptation, the prison, what's the core takeaway for you? What really stands out?
Well, if you connect it to the bigger picture, Joseph's story seems to illustrate this enduring truth. That integrity, real, unwavering integrity. Even when it looks like it's leading you straight into disaster, into suffering or injustice.
Yeah.
It isn't just a nice moral idea. It can actually be a profound source of resilience and, oddly enough, influence. It makes you think about how fundamental character can kind of override external situations. It can lead to trust, even prosperity, in the most unlikely places.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
This deep dive definitely shows how, your inner character can shape your path almost more than the external events. It's not just what happens to you.
But what's happening in you?
Yeah, what you bring to the situation. So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about as you go about your day. Consider this. How might sticking to your own integrity, even when it feels like it costs you something personally, how might that paradoxically open doors or create opportunities down the line in ways you don't expect?
Right. Simply because of the quiet, consistent influence of who you are.
Yeah. The ripple effect of character, definitely something to mull over.